Ladies and gentlemen, Kymani Marley, come on, put your hands together, come on! Y'all don't know what it took to bring Kymani here to actually do this show for you tonight. But it's more about it, his book. And I want for it to shed some light. I don't want to be the one. I've read the book, and I found some very interesting things in this book. Every one of you should go out and pick up this book. And I want to tell you something. The reason why you all should go out and pick up this book is not just about his life, but it's about our life also. So, Kymani, tell them a little bit about this book and what it's really all about. I see a lot of people have the books. Make sure you get it autographed by it. Talk to me.
All right, well, you know what I mean, first of all, when I approached writing a book, it was really to my friends, you know, like I said earlier, for my fans. For them to understand Kymani in whole and not assume one thing. You know what I mean, the book, for me, after writing the book and going back and reading the book for myself, the book for me became therapy. The book for me became my release. Now, my story is a unique story, and I think a lot of people who read the story won't believe some of the trials and tribulations that I went through as a child, you know what I mean? And so some of the things for me growing up, I was a very bitter youth growing up. So a lot of things that I did in the book, a lot of things that I didn't put in the book, was done because of living in the state that I was living in and knowing that my father is the king of reggae. And a king. You know what I mean? I remember that on the day when my father was to be buried, ironically, I listened to my father's funeral inside of a barber shop. You know what I mean? And it's the book. You know what I mean? You know, people say controversial, and there might be some points that I touch on that may be somewhat controversial, but I didn't write the book fight to be controversial. I wrote the book to tell you my story. So therefore, if some things end up turning out that way, then, you know what I mean, that is it. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, my love for family, my love for humanity is still at the highest peak. You know what I mean? And my thing is so yeah, the book.
You know, reading the book, I remember one part of the book, I believe it's chapter 4, where you actually said when you got to the United States and you woke up in the morning, you wish you could actually run all the way back to ya.
I wish.
Let's talk about that.
Well, you know what soul the dream, first of all, even from Jamaica, that the United States of America was this pot of gold. So when my grandmother, my auntie them and my cousin them leave before me, so I used to get the call and know, I picture this big white house with the white fence and the grass, nice manicure, and that's the whole lights. I remember coming into Miami that night and just the vast amount of lights, you know what I mean, and as a child just being hard. And you know, approaching the neighborhood that I was staying in, and it was night. So even though things never looked too bad until
in the night.
Until I rise the morning and realize the block that I'm living on is probably one of the most dangerous blocks in Miami at that time. The doorpost was directly across the street from me. Not around the other block, not on the back of the block, but directly across the street from me. My first week in America, my first experience in America was to my two neighbors having a fight, shooting through my yard, my backyard, at one another. And I'm standing outside watching it happen, not knowing the danger, you know what I mean, I was in at the time. But yeah, it's been quiet, you know, I moved from Jamaica in our boardhouse, the two bedroom and 9 people, to America in our boardhouse, whereas I know one of the left for Jamaica with the same 9 people.
See that.
It's you know, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. But you know, I mean, looking back at it now, when people ask me every time, would I change anything? I wouldn't change anything because I think it molded me into the character that I am today. You know what I mean? Just the fact that I can relate to the people firsthand versus, you know what I mean, hearsay. And it's definitely been a lesson of values, of integrity, of family, of overcoming, of continuing to fight, you know what I mean? The whole revolutionary mindset of it all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on, give it up for Kymani Marley right here. Yeah. Kevin, hold up before you go, man. One last thing. I know you want to run. One last thing. No, man. One last thing. Dear Dad. The respect is there. That's the name of the book. If you want to respect it and give him Dear Dad and support him with Dear Dad, go and buy the book, pick up the book, get the book autographed. But before I ask him to actually autograph this book, I want to ask him a question. Kevin, before you actually do that track, Dear Dad, the majority of the people know, I think so, and this is my personal opinion, that you're the closest to your father. That's my personal opinion, and I reserve the right to say that. Okay, I personally reserve that right, and I'm quite sure quite a few other folks reserve that right. But it is no secret that you were not treated the same way as the other Marley siblings. How do you feel about that? It's in the book, and I want for you to just touch on it quickly. You don't have to go in detail, but a lot of people would like to know about that. And if you want to get the detail, make sure you get the book.
How do I feel about that? Well, like I said, I mean, growing up for me, I was a very young man. You know what I mean? And I took out that frustration doing other things. You know what I mean? Like I said, knowing, it's not only you knowing, but when the neighborhood you're in, know that, well, that is Marley child, that is the king of reggae child. And I'm not exaggerating when I say my house was the worst house on the block. You know what I mean? So all them things I tried, it built up certain frustration, so I lash out now, you know what I mean? And for me, it was really just to get past it, you know, because nothing was going to change unless I changed something. And I just thank God that I received the gift of music. That He carry me along the journey, He carry me on, so I have things to speak about that is of relevance. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Here you are today. Dear Dad, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
Dear God, I have a letter from you today. Dear God, let me from you today. And I want you not to know. Here it goes. Dear God, I really did get to know you. And sometimes I sit and wonder and it makes me blue. But there's one memory that stays on the back of my mind. And this memory got me thinking about you all the time. Whoa, I swear I miss you so. And I wish that you was there to see your bones grow. In case you're wondering, Mama, she's doing fine. And she tells me stories about you, Papa, all the time. So when I'm telling out, lonely you're just feeling blue. All I do that is think of you. The thoughts alone erase my fears and dries my tears. I'm just writing to let you know that New York cares. I love you, really, really love you, baby. I miss you, I miss you. I know my life is just as much. I love you, really, really love you. Oh, so true. Listen, and I know you're giving love to the people. And some of whom you don't really trust, they deceived you. But betrayal brings another day. At least that's what my mama said. When I'm through, I bless this letter in the Bible. And I'm gonna pray to Jah to send us disciples to deliver you my letter. Oh, it will make I feel much better. Now I'm saying, dear God, I have a letter from me today. And I want to let you know my little son. Dear God, the book, Rastafari.
Make some noise for Kymani Marley!